What a nice choice, T-Rex and Get It On, and that is a song to dance to in the opinion of Peter Capaldi, who is with me right now.
Hello,
I know
Jo.
it's Capaldi, but just because I always used to think it was Capaldi, I just want to say it.
You were so nervous about it, and I saw you there. If people had seen that, you were teetering on the edge.
I know it's Lewis Capaldi, but with you,
No, it is the same. It is pal, as in just as, think of, he's...
Oh, talking to your microphone, hang on, there you go.
I want him to be my pal.
Yes.
That's
I know that now, but obviously it's like...
Well, it was very funny when you had Lewis on, because I was out at dinner somewhere.
Oh, no, let's not go over this.
And you almost got into a fight with him about the pronunciation of it. And you were proclaiming it to be the wrong way.
Version, I know. Anyway, moving on. I'm just going to tear up all my questions because we have had a gazillion questions coming through for you. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
This is one of my favourite questions. Hang on, the one that's just come through. This is from Caitlin or Catlin. Question for Peter. Now that you're doing some more music, is there any chance for future collaboration with Lewis Capaldi? There you go. Has that conversation been had?
That's not been had. No, I don't. Lewis is very, very busy and very, very big. And I think he's very preoccupied with his wonderful career. It's amazing.
It's gone so well, hasn't it?
Well, he's extraordinary. And I saw him about 2 years ago in a small venue in Shepherd's Bush. It was already packed. And everybody knew all of the words to all of his songs. And I'd never even met him before. And I was absolutely knocked out. I thought it was incredible. And although, he's my cousin's son, and I didn't know him growing up, I felt so proud. I really did. And then
you were in the video.
I turned up in the video, because he called me and said, would I be in the video for this new song that he was doing? And I said, any pop video, I will be there. But he'd written this whole story. He's not actually in the video. And he'd written this whole story about a heart transplant, which was very moving. And it was beautiful. But the guys, the record company guys said to me, this is going to go to number one. I said, well, that'll be very nice. But we didn't know it was going to go to number one for 7 weeks and in America.
It'll be the record of the year, like Brit Awards and everything.
Cool.
So are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, are you?
I'm good, thank you. You're a rock star now, so you've got a musical project which we're going to talk about, and I'm going to play the record next.
Oh, no.
So tell me about Monk's Road Social.
Okay, well, Monk's Road Social is a great label which collects a group of very disparate and diverse artists and musicians, and they put together albums. The label's run by Richard Clark and is curated by Dr. Robert, who's my great friend, Robert Howard from the Blue Monkeys. And they put out these albums which are usually lots of different musicians who all play on each other's songs. And they're very, very interesting and strange albums. And I happened to be around when they were recording one of them. And being as I'm such a tart for anybody with an electric guitar, when they said, do you want to hang around? Yes, I said, well, I'll come and hang around. And then Robert, who's always sort of at me to play guitar and to be musical, said, well, do you want to record something? I said, I don't have anything. I said, well, okay. And then I went, this was in Spain, I was on holiday, and it was close to their studio. And I thought, they're all so great. Maybe I should try and write something. So I went home, and I'd already been sort of, twiddling around, trying to, in my kind of amateur sort of way, put a song together. I thought, well, let's try and do it. So I worked overnight and came up with this song, played it to my wife, Elaine, because she's the person who has to decide whether or not it's good.
Whether you're going to embarrass her or not, I think is the phrase.
Exactly. She's in the unfortunate position of being first in the line of fire. And she said, no, I think you should take it to Robert. And so we took it to Robert and we recorded it basically in 24 hours.
Wow.
The whole thing. But it was 24 hours. It was half of one day and half of the next, because there was a whole queue of other artists who were coming in to do their songs. So we did this one very quickly.
Okay, how are you feeling? How is this going to feel, hearing your song go out on the radio?
Well, I'm so excited because it's not really, I'm not pursuing a career as a pop star. It's all sort of happened a bit by accident.
So it's just fun.
And it's just fun, and that's the way I want it to stay.
Okay, so when we've played like Coldplay stuff in the past, Chris Martin walks out of the studio. He can't bear to be in the studio when it's played.
Okay.
So you can do the same thing? You're going to sit here and I'm going to turn it up to 11. Speakers to 11?
Yeah, you've got to enjoy every moment.
Monk's Road Social, Peter Capaldi, and If I Could Pray. Monk's Road Social and Peter Capaldi, and that song is called, hang on, it's disappeared off my screen now. If I Could Pray, is that what it's called?
It's called If I Could Pray.
Okay,
yes.
Peter is here with us right now. And the inspiration for that, where did that come from?
Well, it actually came from, I do some work for Thomas Coram, which is the oldest adoption agency in the UK, started in the 18th century. And I'm very privileged to get to do. They have an award ceremony every year for a competition they do called Coram Voices, which is for kids who have been through the care system, kids of all ages. And we ask the kids to tell us about their experiences in care by writing essays or painting pictures or making music or all kinds of creative sort of things so that they can find an expression in art for their experiences. And I host these little awards, we hand out presents, but I get to meet the kids and they are amazing. I mean, they are absolutely, some of them have had the most troubled beginnings, but you just look at them and talk to them and they fill you with hope, you know, because they're such amazing and powerful presences. And that's why the song really is me saying, I hope you find your way, that they deserve, perhaps more than anybody, to get a break.
Morgo's been in touch.
Oh, yeah.
Elisa won't have to worry about tuning his guitar tonight. Say hi to him from me, please. Is that your guitar tech?
Yes, it is. Indeed.
So is there going to be a live performance? Are you actually going to be taking this out?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't got a band.
Well, Monks Road Social are kind of your band, so you could possibly guest
I've played
one night.
I've played with Robert and the Blow Monkeys, who are very patient and put up with me because they are proper musicians, and I just come on and fart around a bit. But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't rehearsed anything.
That's so going to happen. Yeah. Jamie and Jess in Norwich say Peter Capaldi or Iggy Pop, sounding awesome. But that's quite a nice comparison, isn't it? You'll take that one, I bet.
I like them, yes.
So I'm you've got very short hair, but you're not bald at the moment. No. There has been much talk about Suicide Squad.
Yes.
James Gunn, isn't it, announced that you are part of Suicide Squad. He said you have a big role. Yes.
Well, James is very sweet. James directs and writes the Guardians of the Galaxy films, and he's doing a version of. There was a film a couple of years ago, I think, called The Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. This is called Suicide Squad.
Margot Robbie being in both.
Margot Robbie, yes, is playing Harley Quinn, and she's amazing. And Idris Elba is in it, and David Dastmalchian and Joel Kinnaman, and a great cast. And I've been doing that in America, so I've been there really until the last. I came back about 2 weeks ago. I got a little break for Christmas. And just an amazing... I was amazed at how sweet the cast were. I mean, they were all so famous.
But why would they be horrible? But who are you? What do you do?
I can't tell you that.
Go on.
I had to sign a contract.
Fine.
I had to sign a non-disclosure contract so that I can't tell anybody who I am.
Are you an alien or a monster?
I'm somebody with no hair.
Prosthetics?
I have no hair. Okay. No hair and prosthetics.
Okay, so, but that doesn't make me think that you're a spectacularly good guy.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. No, everybody in Suicide Squad is a bad guy.
True.
Because they're all bad guys.
Yeah.
But some are worse.
Badder than others.
Badder than others.
Let's play a song. You've chosen a song to cry to. So why does this make you cry?
This makes me cry because it's a live version of You've Got a Friend by Donny Hathaway, and the audience joins in. And he lets the audience sing. And I find it so moving, this kind of relationship, you know, between the performer, the melody, and the song, you know, and they're singing about being nice, which is always very welcome. But yes, I usually break down in tears.
You have tears. Can I just say to the listeners now, you have tears in your eyes as you're talking. I can see that. The intensity of emotion. Imagine being in that room at that time. Donny Hathaway and You've Got a Friend.
It sounds like they've got kids in the audience as well. I don't know what they're doing.
That's okay, isn't it?
Yes.
Peter Capaldi is our guest on the show tonight. Neety in Ramsgate. Can you ask Peter if the single, which we just played, is the start of a new musical career ahead? Might there be an album?
I don't know. I'm just,
You're so coy!
I'm just having a go, just seeing what happens, really. Just taking it a day. I mean, I don't want to sort of, you know, I love being an actor, and that can sometimes be a little bit stressful. And much as I love music, I see my friends in the music business also have stresses and strains in their lives that I don't really want to have on my shoulders. And, you know, I've the greatest respect for people who do music because they've devoted their lives to it. I haven't quite done that, so I think it would be a little embarrassing for me to throw myself into it
But a nice little side project to have ongoing, sneak out an album here and there. Yeah, so that might well happen. Okay, fine. Jo Gaffney, a question for Peter. Who is your favourite Doctor out of the 13 who've been in Doctor Who over the years?
Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, he's mine as well.
Yeah,
there you go. Never liked any of the others at all. What's the legacy and the long-term impact of having been in Doctor Who, having been the 12th Doctor in your life?
Just that was a wonderful time, and that I got to be this magical character. It's a bit like being Peter Pan or Santa Claus, and that's and people still come and talk to me about it. I do enjoy that it has receded somewhat, because it's nice not to be in the storm and in the middle of that. But I think it's a sort of welcome thing in the world. So people, if they do recognise me from Doctor Who, they're generally pleased to see me. So that's always nice.
It must happen on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It does.
But that's quite nice.
It's lovely, yeah, but overwhelming at the time.
At the time, there's much, much more of it. But then there's also the responsibility of filming the show, and also the responsibility of selling the show, and also the responsibility of kind of adopting this persona that will satisfy the brand. And that persona is not necessarily me.
Well, you're way more Malcolm Tucker.
Well, possibly. Well, I like a bit of darkness.
Swearing. Oh, no,
and swearing. And so sometimes that is not so welcome in the Doctor Who world.
Yes.
So, but I can swear all I like now. Can I swear now?
No, do not do that on my show. Michelle, because I'll get sacked.
Okay.
Ask Peter if he has plans in the future to publish his photographs taken during his time on Doctor Who and beyond in a book. Because you brought your camera in with you right now.
I took my camera. Yes, I've actually been taking pictures of Jo Whiley, famous DJ person.
They'll break the camera.
Yeah, who didn't want her photographs taken at all. She agreed to let me do it, but I could see her hiding behind microphones.
Yep.
I don't know. I just realised that I had a whole pile of photographs going all the way back to the very start of my career in Local Hero, of all of these great projects. And of course, the actors and directors, they let me take pictures of them because I'm right there. I'm not a kind of a pro, and so they let the mask down, and I have tons and tons of stuff. So
wow,
maybe
this has to be seen. Incredible.
Well, I have
candid
tons and tons of stuff going all the way back. Many of the people in the pictures are now passed on.
Oh.
But
again, really valuable memories.
Yeah, and I'd sort of stopped after I'd finished doing Doctor Who, which was really a very kind of intense kind of time. I took a lot of pictures on that. But when I finished that job, I just wanted to stop completely and play guitar, which is what I did most of the time. And then the only thing I did was David Copperfield with Armando, which was great. And I took lots of pictures on that, which was great fun because everyone was all totted up in their Dickensian costumes, so that was lovely. But I realised I haven't done it for a while, so tonight was the first night I've got the camera out again, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. We should play another song. I'm going to keep you here after the news because there's too many questions to ask. So the next song is a song that reminds you of your childhood. It's from the Beatles, and it's called All My Loving. What memories does it bring?
Well, I was 5 when this came out. I looked that up and discovered I was 5. But obviously, when I grew up, the Beatles were just around all the time. That was they were in the air, and I can remember vividly standing on the roof of the wash house, which is we lived in a tenement in the early days in Glasgow. And there was a wash house outside, and standing on the roof of this wash house with a Beatles wig on. Which was a vacuum-formed plastic thing. And
was it like a mop-top kind of thing?
It was, but it was hard. It cut into your head. You could always tell the kids who were wearing them because they looked like they had a scar, like they had a lobotomy or something like that. It was a scar from their Beatles wig. Playing a little Beatles guitar that had their autographs on it and stuff. And there was lots of us. There was about 20 kids all doing this. And we just loved them. But of course, as the years pass, and their stories unfold and they grow older and you realise that they were real human beings, the whole thing just becomes incredibly moving. I also remember my mother always sung this song, all through her life, doing the dishes and doing her housework. She always sung this, so that reminds me of her too.
The Beatles and All My Loving. So I'm not letting Peter leave the room yet. We have so much more still to talk about. 88291. Peter Capaldi is still here with us at the moment. I'm just going to run through a bunch of questions so that people don't feel left out. Graham says maybe he could revive his first band, Dream Boys. Now, I Googled Dream Boys before you got in here. Very nice knitted tank top at one point.
Oh, yes.
As a bow tie in another
That was the
one.
Frank Spencer look.
Yes.
It never really caught on. I thought I was looking more like David Byrne than Talking Heads, but I wasn't really. It was more like Frank Spencer.
Yeah.
Yes, that was we had great fun. That was about 1979, 80.
Yeah, with Craig Ferguson.
With
who
Craig
went
Ferguson
to
on
do
the
American
drums,
Church
yes. And we had a laugh. But not a contract, unfortunately. And not any choruses.
Comments from people about your music. Sylvie from Dorset. That's great, my new favourite listen. OMG, good call, like that. Lorna Murray in East Lothian in Scotland. Sounds like Tom Waits crossed with Bon Jovi.
Well, that's good. Thank you. I'll have that too.
You'll take that.
Thank you very much.
Emma Goddard near Bath. When was the last time you wore an earring?
Oh, a long time ago. I've got little. If you look closely, you can see a little hole there,
Yeah.
which is sealed up now. I can't remember when I took it out. Probably about 26 or 27. I'd be scared to try and put it.
Yes,
in
no,
now.
please don't put it back.
No.
Michelle,
Is
how
that
many?
not cruel? You don't think it's
Not for
cruel,
us
so
now.
it's not cruel. Not for a
Unless you're-
61-year-old man.
Unless you're going to be a
gypsy.
pirate in your next role. Michelle, how many takes did it? Yeah, how many takes you had to do the belly flop to the pool in After Sun?
One.
Just the one.
Just the one.
Nailed it at that.
Yeah, it's easy.
When I saw you recently, we were talking about award shows, and you've been to the BAFTAs many times, nominated, I think, 4 times. You won Best Male Comedy Performance in 2010 when you played Malcolm Tucker, the thick of it. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And your observation made me laugh a lot about award shows, that when you go there, everyone is full of excitement because they're prospective winners.
Yes, but as the evening wears on, the room fills full of losers. Because there are proportionally more people who've lost than have won. And the people who have lost get more drunk and more noisy and more bitter? I don't think so.
I watched the Brits with that in my head, just thinking, no, you're right. At the very beginning, there was so much anticipation and excitement, and then you could just see the despair.
That's right. There's so much hope, and
Setting in.
it's all crushed.
What kind of roles do you get offered these days? Obviously, Suicide Squad has taken up a lot of your life.
Yeah.
So are there many coming at you all the time?
Yeah, well, I'm very lucky. I'm very excited. I'm going to do a film with one of my heroes, who is a director called Terence Davies, who has done some of the most magnificent films. He did a film called Distant Voices, Still Lives. He was brought up in Liverpool. He had a very tough upbringing, and he did this marvellous. This sounds, if I describe the film, you might think, oh, I don't want to watch that, because it's another British film about a very poor upbringing and a tough, abusive father played by Pete Postlethwaite. But he's rendered this story in such a filmic, moving, evocative, artistic way that you just want to watch it again and again and again, no matter how difficult it is. And he doesn't shy away from the difficulties and unpleasantness of the abuse, but he also embraces the beauty of Liverpool in the rain and the filmmaking process, and he loves movie musicals. And so he's doing a film about Siegfried Sassoon, who is the great First World War poet. And obviously there's a lot of it is set during the war. I am not Siegfried Sassoon.
No, who are you? What is your role? What do you do?
I am Siegfried Sassoon later in life.
Oh, okay.
But
Right, yeah,
wonderful
not as a young man.
actor called, Jack Loudon is playing the young Siegfried Sassoon, and I'm playing the older one. But
Okay.
that's my position in life now. But Terence Davies says I would do anything that he wanted me to be in. I'm just thrilled that he wants me to be in it.
Yeah. Would you go on stage?
Yeah, if it was the right thing. The trouble is getting the right thing.
What makes it the right thing?
Something that's special. And not something that's just a lot of people want you to put you in things because they know a lot of people will come and see it. He said rather arrogantly and perhaps mistakenly. I think it has to be something that is a one-off. That's an experience that is utterly itself, and there's not actually a lot of them around.
You do seem to be able to do most things. So what would scare you? What would challenge you the most?
Well, that's very sweet of you to say that. Most things scare me. And coming on here tonight scares me. You know, everything
Sorry,
scares
it's nearly
me.
over.
No, well, it's been lovely, but you know, anything scares me. It's funny, even if, you know, doing the Suicide Squad with the most delightful cast, Margot, who you've met, who's absolutely lovely, and James Gunn, it's incredible. I mean, he's just such a positive and warm presence, and it became clear to me that he enjoyed what I was doing, but that just made me even more nervous because there was further to fall. So every time he asked me to do something or improvise a little bit, I would get even more scared. So I'm scared all the time, but I just try not to show it. And I just think you should just get on with things and just see what happens.
Peter, it's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you very much indeed. I should do your promotion for you. There is a Monks Road social gig at the Jazz Cafe in Camden on the 11th of May. Whether you'll be there or not remains to be seen. And there is an album which is called Humanism, and the track that I played you earlier on was the first single to come from it, and it was called If I Could Pray. Peter Capaldi, thank you very much.
Thank you for playing it. That's the first time it's ever been played,
yes!
ever in the universe. Thank you.